you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Living the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream. What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Living the Dream podcast, where today we cover the topic of training to help you reach your health, fitness, and wellness goals and in order to live your dream life. Today, we're tossing aside the old school notions of skinny and thin and diving headfirst into a revolutionary approach to fitness. So buckle up, because we're about to flip the script and redefine what it means to truly thrive in your own skin. But first, let me hit you with some eye-opening stats that'll have you rethinking your entire approach to health and wellness. Did you know that only 23% of adults in the United States meet the recommended guidelines for both aerobic and muscle strengthening activities? That's right, less than a quarter of us prioritize strength training. Less than a quarter of us get our aerobic needs met, despite the myriad of benefits that we already know it has for our bodies and our minds. Here's another shocker. Research shows that chronic dieting and restrictive eating behaviors, these things can actually lead to weight gain over time, rather than the desired weight loss when you go into them. That's right, those that diet all the time and practice restricted food actually fail about 9 out of every 10 times. It's time to ditch the crash diets and embrace a more nourishing, sustainable approach to fueling our bodies for success. And get this, sitting has been dubbed the new smoking, but it's not necessarily just the position of sitting. Sitting in a chair in and of itself is not really that bad. It's the fact that we stay in the same position to what would be an unimaginable amount of time to our great-grandparents. With sedentary behavior linked to a host of health issues, including increased risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes and obesity, it's really time to break free from our desk chairs and get moving. So are you ready to trade skinny for strong? Thin for nourished? Are you ready to build a body that's not just about looking good, but actually feeling unstoppable? Well, then strap in, because we're about to unleash the power of strength, nourishment, and unbridled badassery. Yep. I read a recent meme last week that really got me fired up. It said, "Train to be strong, not skinny. Eat to be nourished, not thin. Work out to build, not burn. You only have one body. Don't spend your whole life tearing it down in the name of looking better. Direct your effort, direct your energy into caring for your body, fortifying your body, and cultivating strength. As the saying goes, if all you care about is looking better, it may cost you your health. But if you care about your health, you'll probably love the way you end up looking. You need to move your body meaningfully every single day, period. Stand up and stretch every hour. Get outside and go for a walk. Hit the gym and strength train. Do some self-body work at home. The human body thrives with motion. The more movement, usually the better. When you train solely to be skinny, the focus tends to be on calorie restriction, excessive cardio, and potentially harmful dietary practices. This approach often leads to a number of negative consequences. Number one, loss of muscle mass. Excessive cardio and calorie restriction can lead to muscle loss, along with maybe a little bit of body fat loss. This can result in a lower metabolic rate, making it harder to maintain weight loss in the long term. Yeah, you may lose weight in the short term, but stats show it'll probably rebound. Number two, nutrient deficiencies. Restrictive diets often lack essential nutrients, leading to deficiencies that can negatively impact overall health and well-being. This can manifest as fatigue, weakened immune system, and being sick all the time, and impaired cognitive function. Number three, decreased strength and energy levels. Without proper nourishment and strength training, you may experience decreased strength, decreased energy levels, and overall physical performance that is diminished. This can make daily activities more challenging and negatively impact quality of life, which is like a downward spiral. You lose strength, you don't want to move as much, and it just keeps going around and around. And number 4, poor body image and poor self-esteem. Constantly striving for a certain body size or weight can lead to poor body image and low self-esteem. This obsession with achieving an unrealistic standard of beauty can contribute to disordered eating behaviors and to mental health issues. Now, on the other hand, training to be strong instead of skinny focuses on building physical strength, building endurance, and resilience in your body, rather than just achieving a certain body size or weight. Here's why prioritizing strength over skinny is so important. When you train to be strong, you get, number 1, muscle growth and strength. It's so important to emphasize the significance of strength training for overall health and well-being. And there are so many benefits of strength training. You have muscle mass, bone density, enhanced metabolic function, and muscle growth and strength is number 1. Strength training stimulates muscle hypertrophy, which is the size of your muscle, leading to increased muscle mass and overall strength. This is not only something that enhances your physical performance, but it also supports everyday activities and reduces the risk of injury. And when you feel better, you feel like moving more. And when you move more, you use your body in different ways more. And in that way, it's an upward spiral of awesomeness. Number 2 is bone density. Resistance training promotes bone density and mineralization of your bones, which is essential for preventing osteoporosis and reducing the risk of fractures, especially as we age and those risk of falls increases. The third benefit, number 3, is metabolic health. Strength training boosts metabolism by increasing your muscle mass, which helps to burn more calories at rest. This can aid in your weight management goals and improve insulin sensitivity, your body's ability to get the blood sugar out of your system and go to where it needs to go, reducing the risk of metabolic disorders such as diabetes. Number 4, it helps your joint health and function. Engaging in resistance training helps to strengthen the muscles around joints, providing stability and support. This can alleviate joint pain and stiffness, improving overall mobility and joint function. Fifth benefit is cardiovascular health. While strength training primarily targets muscular strength and endurance, it also offers cardiovascular benefits, such as lowering blood pressure and improving your cholesterol levels. Incorporating big compound movements and higher intensity intervals can further enhance your cardiovascular fitness. Big compound movements like squats, deadlifts, bench press, bent over rows, pull-ups, things that use multiple muscle groups, entire body systems being worked during the exercise. And heavy lifting is the goal. The sixth benefit is mental health. Strength training has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression and stress by promoting the release of endorphins and other neurotransmitters that improve your mood and emotional well-being, acting like antidepressants. Additionally, the sense of accomplishment and the sense of empowerment gained from progressively increasing your strength and doing more strength training, this can boost self-esteem and confidence itself as well. And number 7, longevity. Research suggests that maintaining muscle mass and strength through regular strength training is associated with a longer lifespan and overall better health span and better quality of life in older adults. It can also delay the onset of age-related functional decline and disability as you get older. Overall, strength training is a fundamental component of a well-rounded fitness regimen, offering a wide range of physical and mental health benefits that contribute to improved overall well-being and longevity. Here are some tips for incorporating strength training into a balanced fitness routine, including progressive overload, compound exercises, and proper form. Start with a solid foundation. Before diving into strength training, assess your current fitness level and any existing injuries or limitations. Consider consulting with a certified personal trainer here or a coach or a healthcare professional to develop a tailored plan that suits your needs and goals. This is important because when you set a foundation, you do what most people skip. Most people, they go to the gym, they do what other people are doing, they kind of fool around and test and see if this works and if that works. But then they get strong in certain areas and they don't work on their growth opportunity areas, and they create imbalances and weak links. And eventually something's going to give and you'll have to go back to square one. This is exactly what I did when I was younger. I worked so hard to squat heavy and do heavy lunges, and everything hurt when I did it. And it took me going all the way back to square one and dropping all the weight and going back to body weight mobility moves to work on my hips and my ankles so that my knees didn't hurt when I did all that heavy lifting. I didn't build the solid foundation. It would have been so helpful if I would have invested in someone to help me to be able to learn what my weaknesses were, to do a assessment on the main body parts like my shoulders, my hips, my ankles, and my knees, to know what I needed to work on the most so that I could set the foundation to which I would then build upon. So start with a solid foundation and reach out to someone that knows what they're doing in order to help you start the right way. Then you have to set clear goals. Once you know where you're at, once you know your foundation, define specific, measurable goals for your strength training journey, whether it's increasing your muscle mass and doing a body fat and muscle mass analysis like an in-body scan or a DEXA scan or skin calipers, or maybe it's improving strength and endurance, which I really love these as goals, trying to figure out what you're at now with your strength level and then giving yourself a goal in the future of where you would like that strength to be. Strength is strength. It's measurable. It's so easy to see if you're hitting it or not. You can tell when you're going in the right direction or if you're overtraining and you need to dial it back. Definitely focus on improving strength and endurance. That would be my suggestion. You could also focus on enhancing your overall performance. So maybe it's something that has to do with actual output, athletic performance. Maybe it's how high can you jump? Maybe it's how fast can you sprint? Maybe it's how far can you throw? Things like that. You can set a clear goal once you know where you're at and then put the end destination in the GPS for you to shoot for. Having clear objectives will help guide your workouts and track your progress over time. And then this is super important, progressively overload. Progressive overload is the key principle behind strength training, which involves gradually increasing the resistance or intensity of your workouts to continually challenge your muscles and to stimulate more growth. Here's how to implement progressive overload effectively. Number one, you can increase your resistance, gradually increase the weight or the resistance used in your exercises as you become stronger. Aim to progress by small increments. For example, 5% increase in weight every 1 to 2 weeks. You can also, number two, adjust your repetitions and your sets. As you advance, manipulate the number of repetitions and the number of sets performed for each exercise to maintain intensity and stimulate that muscle adaptation. Consider incorporating higher rep and lower weight, so something light for a lot of reps for muscular endurance, and lower rep, higher weight for maximal strength. If you want to get stronger, lower the rep count and increase the weight. But really, when you're training, you can start with 1 to 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps and do that for a few exercises. And then as you get better, you can increase it to 1 to 2 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Or maybe you want to add a third set, 1 to 3 sets of the same 8 to 10 reps. Either way, you're increasing the overall volume by adding just a little bit here and there. And if you do that over time, that is what progressive overload means. And there are so many different arguments online as to what's the best this or that, but progressive overload seems to be something that everyone agrees upon. And then number 3, you can vary your training variables. Change up the variables such as your exercise selection. One of my favorite things to do is to change up the tempo. So I'll do the same exercises. I really have been doing the same exercises since I was 19 years old, but I like to change up the sets, the reps, the rest periods, and mostly I like to change up the tempo. If you're looking for muscle size, lower a little slower, pause, feel the stretch of every exercise, and try to power the weight up. If you're looking for more strength, then go for the bigger compound lifts. Go for the lifts and stay in like the 3 to 7 to 8 rep range, something low reps and high weight, and really try to move that weight as fast as you can when you're lifting it. If you're looking for power, maybe start it off with a lighter weight and see how fastly you can move that weight. So there's different types of tempos that you can use based on whatever your goals are. But you could keep everything the same, 1 to 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps, and all you do is slow down your tempo on the exercises, and you're still progressively overloading because you're spending more time under tension, and muscles, they respond best to tension. That's all they really know. They can't tell if you have a 20-pound weight or a 50-pound weight unless you are using the exact same form, and they can feel that difference in tension. So you can manipulate your tension with your tempo, with your rest intervals, your training frequency. Maybe you do legs once a week, and then the next week you increase it to twice a week, and you increase your training frequency to keep your muscles guessing and prevent any plateaus by doing the same thing over and over and over again. Next, focus on compound exercises. We kind of talked about this, but compound exercises target multiple muscle groups and multiple joints simultaneously. This provides efficient and effective full body workouts in a short period of time. You can incorporate the following compound movements into your strength training routine. Big things like squats. Squats work the lower body, including the quads, the thighs, the hamstrings, the back of your thighs, and your glutes, also your core. Some people call squats the king of all lower body exercises. Deadlifts are huge. Engage the entire backside of your body by doing deadlifts, including your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, your upper back. Even your quads get involved when you drop your hips a little bit. Bench press is a great upper body compound move. It targets the chest, the shoulders, the triceps, while also engaging stabilizing muscles in the core and the upper back. A great pushing exercise, compound move would be the bench press. And on the other side of the body would be pull-ups or bent over rows, barbell rows or dumbbell rows. Even things like TRX rows are great when you're first starting off. These things strengthen the upper back. The biceps are an assisting muscle, your grip strength, which is so important to your longevity and your overall strength, while also improving your posture and your shoulder stability, balancing out the tightness that we have because we sit a lot and we round forward a lot. Really strengthening those back muscles are important, and pull-ups and rows do a great job with that. And then overhead pressing. Overhead pressing is what some people call the squat for the upper body. This develops shoulder strength and stability, as well as engages your core big time and helps your upper back muscles strengthen as well. Focus on compound exercises, and then also prioritize proper form. This is super important, especially as you get started. Proper form is essential for maximizing results and minimizing the risk of injury during your strength training program. Focus on the following principles to ensure safe and effective execution of all your exercise. First, you want to try to maintain a neutral spine alignment. So if you were to sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back, lift the crown of your head high, and start to create space between your left and right shoulder, space between your front and your back, creating this big, nice, tall posture that one of my friends, Nate Jackson, he's a great coach here in San Diego, he says, stand up like a warrior. When you hear stand up like a warrior, what does that make you want to do? And that right there is most likely good posture. Maintaining that neutral spine alignment with the natural curvatures of the spine is really important as you go into things like hip hinging for deadlifts, or as you go into a squat with a lot of weight on your back. Engaging your core muscles is really important. I know a lot of people that take group fitness, when they hear engage your core, it kind of just goes in one ear and out the other. But what that is if I said I was going to come and I was going to punch you in the stomach, what would you do to brace your core? One way that I really like to teach this is if you put your hands around your midsection and then you try to inhale into your rib cage and try to push up against your hands, or if you were to wear like a weight belt and you're trying to push out against that weight belt, that's you bracing your core. You also have a really important muscle called your TVA, your transverse abdominis, which is like an internal weight belt or a corset, which is really important for core bracing. Being able to contract your TVA and to maintain neutral spine alignment and to engage your core muscles, it just makes it so that you're a more solid foundation. If you think about like a Coke can, before your Coke can is opened, it's solid. You could stand on that Coke can because of the internal pressure that's in the can. But as soon as you pop that can lid open, you step on it, it's going to crush in a moment. And that's what not engaging your core is essentially doing. You have no stability in your midsection to then be able to lift from. Also, when it comes to prioritizing proper form, it's really important to control the lowering phase or the eccentric phase. Pay attention to the lowering phase of each repetition, maintaining control and resisting gravity to maximize muscle activation and to minimize joint stress. I see this all the time with new lifters. They let gravity drop the weight and then they rebound from that and try to lift the weight after it's been dropped by gravity. You're missing out on 50% of the rep. Also, you have no control, so that bottom position is a little bit more dangerous, especially in something like a squat where you have weight on your back and you're bouncing out of the hole without control. If you can control the lowering phase, you will get stronger. I say this in class all the time. I say, if you want to get stronger, lower slower. Breathe with your reps. Exhale as you lift your weight, and you're going to feel your internal weight belt tightening. That's really important. And then lastly, use full range of motion. Perform exercises through their fullest range of motion to optimize muscle recruitment and flexibility while also reducing the risk of muscle imbalances and joint stiffness. Use full range of motion and start light. Start light because there's going to be weak points in every lift. There's a very strong point in every lift. Like in a bicep curl, you're strongest when your arm is just above 90 degrees. You have a really good hold of that weight. But as you get to 90 degrees, your bicep is at a mechanical disadvantage. And as you get all the way down to with your arms straight, you're a little bit weaker down there. So you're not going to be able to lift as much weight as if you did half reps all the way to the top and halfway down. You want to use a full range of motion. So drop the weight, drop the ego, use full range of motion until you have the strength and you've earned the right then to increase the weight. So definitely focus on compound exercises, prioritize proper form, make sure you progressively overload, and then listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body feels during and after strength training workouts. While it's normal to experience muscle fatigue and soreness, really be mindful of any signs or discomfort or pain that may indicate you're overtraining or you're doing improper form. If necessary, adjust your training volume. Usually it's adjusting your intensity. Most people bring intensity way too much, way too early. Or you can adjust your exercise selection accordingly to avoid injury and promote recovery. One of the biggest things that makes me think of that when I bring that up is a lot of people do not like back squatting with a big barbell on their back because it does compress the spine a little bit. But when you give them a dumbbell in a goblet position where you hold it in front of your chest, it's a game changer. Maybe one form of squat is not the best for you right now while you're still strengthening and you're still learning. Maybe you need to adjust the exercise selection. You have to listen to your body in order to know this. I recommend incorporating strength training into your weekly schedule as a consistent habit. You should aim for at least 2 to 3 sessions per week of full body to see meaningful progress. The goal is to hit each of your major muscle groups at least twice per week. Some people like to split this up and they like to do upper body, lower body, and they like to work out 4 times a week. So they're getting upper body twice and lower body twice. That works great. There are essentially infinite possibilities on how you could do your split, but the goal is to aim for at least 2 to 3 sessions per week to see meaningful progress. Prioritize adequate rest and recovery in between your workouts because when you're working out, you're breaking down. And in your recovery with your sleep and your nutrition, that is when you're rebuilding. Stay consistent with your strength training routine, but also be flexible and adaptive to accommodate changes in your schedule or personal circumstances. I know a lot of people that are the all or nothing mentality that they get a streak going and they have to go every day and then they miss a day. And you know what? Because I missed this day, I'm going to miss another day. And that day turns into a week, which turns into a month, and it snowballs from there. Be adaptive and try to be consistent with your strength training routine, but also be flexible. And then surround yourself with a supportive environment that encourages and motivates you to stick to your fitness goals, whether it's finding a workout buddy, or this is where I really love joining a fitness community. Group fitness does a really good job of this, or seek professional guidance from a coach or a trainer and have that accountability that way. By incorporating these actionable tips and lifestyle changes into your strength training routine, you'll be well on your way to building a stronger, healthier body and achieving your fitness goals with confidence and success. Just remember, stay patient, stay focused, and enjoy the journey of self-improvement and growth. It will eventually come if you're patient and if you're consistent. It's also important to highlight the empowerment that comes from feeling strong and capable in your own body, regardless of societal beauty standards. Feeling strong and capable in your own body goes beyond the aesthetics and the societal beauty standards. It's about tapping into your inner power, your inner resilience, and your inner confidence that stem from the physical strength and the mental fortitude that you get from resistance strength training. Here's how embracing strength can empower you regardless of whatever external expectations or external experiences that you get. The physical empowerment, of course, is pretty straightforward. Strength training allows you to experience firsthand the incredible capabilities of your body. As you progressively overload your muscles and you witness improvements in strength, endurance, and mobility, you gain a newfound appreciation for just what your body can accomplish. And I've seen people that didn't think they could do something, and when they achieved it, it opened up their eyes to just how big the opportunities are out there and how limiting your mindset is sometimes. The feeling of lifting heavy weights, of conquering challenging exercises, and of achieving personal records, it instills this sense of empowerment and accomplishment that you can't find in many other places in life. It reinforces the idea that your body is strong, resilient, and capable of overcoming obstacles both inside, but more importantly, outside of the gym. And along with the physical empowerment, you get the mental empowerment. Strength training is not just a physical endeavor, it's a mental one. Pushing through discomfort, overcoming self-doubt, and persevering through setbacks build mental toughness and resilience. It's just like a muscle. As you challenge yourself in the gym, you cultivate a growth mindset that extends beyond physical fitness. You learn to embrace failure as an opportunity for growth, to push past your limits, and to believe in the ability to overcome obstacles that you once thought you couldn't. The discipline and the dedication required for consistent strength training, it transfers to other areas of your life, empowering you to tackle challenges with confidence, determination, and resilience. And along with physical and mental, there's also the emotional empowerment. Feeling strong and capable in your own body boosts your self-esteem, it boosts your self-confidence, it shifts your focus away from the external validation and the societal beauty standards that are out there, allowing you to define your worth based on your inner strength, your inner resilience. Strength training provides a sense of autonomy and control over your body and your health rather than striving for a predetermined ideal. You embrace your unique strengths, you celebrate your little tiny wins in your progress, and you create this positive relationship with your body. I can't think of something that's better than that. The confidence and self-assurance gained from strength training, it translates into your everyday life, empowering you to set boundaries and blast through any kind of obstacles, assert yourself, and to pursue your goals with conviction and purpose. And then there's the empowerment beyond the gym. The empowerment experience through strength training transcends physical fitness, and it goes into every aspect of your life. It influences how you show up in your relationships, how you navigate challenges, how you pursue your passions. So by prioritizing strength and essentially self-care, you set an example for others and inspire those around you to embrace their own strength and resilience. You become this beacon of empowerment, encouraging others to believe in themselves and pursue their dreams. In essence, feeling strong and capable in your own body is deeply empowering, and it transcends all the other societal expectations that may be out there. It's crazy when you are the person that is making a change in your life, and then others see what is possible through you. And then it's an upward spiral because you get motivated by motivating others. And then this network, this circle, this ripple, it builds and it builds. And over time, if you earn it, it is something that you can't get in life anywhere else. Like you can't buy your fitness. You can't have someone else do it for you. This is hard work that you have to earn on your own. And when people see that you've been putting in the work, they know that you have the dedication, that you have been consistent, that you have overcome hard things, that you have prioritized yourself. And that is pretty powerful. People can see that. Now, this week's Fuel Up Friday episode will discuss eating to be nourished. And from all the experts that I've been listening to, that I trust and that I'm following, it seems that shifting the focus from restrictive eating, restrictive dieting, to nourishing your body with whole, nutrient-dense foods seems to be the recipe for success. And we'll discuss that on Friday. So tune in to that episode. There are going to be things that we talk about, like huge pitfalls of restrictive eating, nutrient deficiencies, disordered eating, metabolic adaptation, muscle loss, social isolation, and more. And then we're going to be talking about embracing a whole food approach on Friday as well, prioritizing nutrient density, protein-rich foods, fiber-rich foods, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, low-energy dense foods, hydration-rich foods, and balanced meals and snacks, and how those are important. So tune into Friday's episode, Eating to be Nourished, Not Thin, where we're going to discuss all those things. And that quote that just got me all fired up, we're going to talk about that all week this week. Train to be strong, not skinny. That was today. Eat to be nourished, not thin. We'll talk about that on Friday. And work out to build, not burn. We're going to go over that on Wednesday. Tune into Wellness Wednesday episode where we're going to discuss working out to build, not burn. We're going to go into why exercise should be viewed beyond just burning calories or achieving a certain physique, the overall health benefits of that mindset, what functional fitness is, how it plays into your mental well-being and your lifestyle enhancement and your long-term sustainability. So tune into those. We'll continue on with this quote throughout the week. And as we wrap up today's episode of Training Tuesday, I hope you're feeling just as fired up and inspired as I am when I read that quote, to go on this journey of strength training, of nourishment, and of self-discovery. Remember, it's not about chasing after unrealistic ideals of quote unquote skinny or thin, but rather about building a body and a life that is strong, vibrant, and unstoppable. By prioritizing strength training, nourishing your body with whole nutrient-dense foods, and shifting your mindset towards empowerment and self-care, you're taking the first steps towards living your best life. So let's commit to training to be strong, eating to be nourished, and working out to build, not burn. And hey, if you're feeling motivated and ready to dive deeper into these topics, don't miss this week's Wellness Wednesday and this week's Fuel Up Friday. And we'll explore the power of nourishing the body, and we'll go into deep on how you can work out to build. Together, we're going to shatter the old paradigms of health and fitness, and we're going to pave a new era of strength, vitality, and well-being. So until next time, keep dreaming big, stay committed, and never forget you are stronger than you think. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this Training Tuesday episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If you enjoyed this content, it helps us a ton. If you could post on your social media a screenshot of this episode with one takeaway that you learned, and make sure that you tag me and share your journey. Tag me at livingthedream_podcast or at coachdamian_SD, and let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. Tell us how you have chosen strong over skinny. We want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that would help your Living the Dream team that we can discuss on future episodes. I will be right here with you, working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.